This is the video for routine 102 of the Matrixmath game. Starts out with setting tall and wide to 320, 250, XY position to 090, the color to 990, which is yellow, and does a rectangle fill. Then it sets the color to black, sets the XY position to 95, 112, the font to bold 20 points. Then it puts the text add L onto the screen. Then it sets A and B to 5, 130. They're going to be used to control X and Y. And here we see X is set to A, Y is set to B. Font to 411, bold 11 points. And then it puts this text line on the screen that starts out R vector asterisk scalar. Then it sets the XY value to 30 plus A and Y to 20 plus B, and then it sets up the control registers L, M, and N. There's going to be 3 values, but there's only 1 column. Then it does a move of the A vector to the R vector. This next instruction of add L requires that the result vector have data in it when it starts. Here is the add L instruction, and there's the R vector, a scalar, and a row length. It's going to add this scalar to every value in the R vector. But first we see here it had to be set to the A vector. So this result is actually going to be the A vector, and each value will have this scalar added to it. Then it does a box end. It shows the vector onto the screen. That is the result vector. Then, following it, it puts the brackets there, equal plus there, and puts the value for the show scalar value of 1. And then it adds to the X position 80, and then it puts the show the row length value of 1. Well, let's go to the main screen and see what it just did. Well, it made this yellow box at the beginning. Then it put this line, what the instruction looks like. Then it built this. It showed it, put the brackets around it, put the equal plus there, put the 3 there, and put the 1 there. Now I've highlighted the next section of this routine. It adds a sum to B. Well, that's what controls the Y value. So everything down here, or Y, is going to drop down 75 pixels. Then it sets XY to the A and B. Then it puts the text on the screen for the instruction. Then it sets X and Y to 30 plus A, 20 plus B. Font 411 sets up the control registers again. They're exactly the same. There's going to be 3 values in the vector and just 1 column. Then it does the add L instruction, which says add this scalar to every value in A vector and put it into R vector. Then it does a box end to put that on the screen. Then it does the same thing about putting brackets around it, showing, well, basically showing all the other things. So let's just go look at it. Here it is. It dropped down 75 points and did this. Now we're going to see it drop down another 75, do this, then another 75, and do this one. Now I've highlighted another section of this routine. Going to do about the same thing. Here it adds another 75 to the Y values, sets X and Y to that position, the font. Now it puts another thing onto the screen. Then it sets X and Y, does the font again. Here's the L, M, and N being defined. This one, again, needs the A vector moved to the R vector to start with, before it does the add L action, which is going to take the values in the B register and add them to the values in the A register, but we know the A register was already put at R register. Then it does a box N on those values for the R register. Then the rest of this is putting the rest of the information on the screen, so let's go look at it. Here we see that particular section. Here it put the R register, vector, and also the B vector, and shows here it's going to equal plus that vector. Alright, that's what this example does. Now we're going to do the last example. Again, it adds 75 to B because it uses that for the Y position. We're dropping down another 75 pixels, and it sets X and Y to A and B. Then it puts this text line on the screen, resets X and Y as it did in the other 3 times, the 30 plus A, 20 plus B, puts the font at 411, sets the control registers, but this time the addl instruction has both the A vector and the B vector going to be added together to make the R vector. Then after that it shows all the little things it needs to do to put the brackets around the first one. Then it shows the next one and puts the brackets around it, and then it shows the other one and puts the brackets around it. Well, let's go see it. Here's what it did. In this case, it's going to add A vector and B vector together and put the result in R vector here. And this is the detail it was showing each one of them by doing a box N on each one of them. Well, this is the end of the video for routine 102 of the Matrixmath game.